Okay, week 3, IBUS 75. First order of business is Chu has put together a LinkedIn link on our website for you to join. You get extra points for doing that. And at some point, Chu will show me how I can forward documents directly into that LinkedIn thing. I haven't quite figured that out yet. The reason for that is I go through during the day, I'm seeing articles that I think are relevant to what we're talking about. And instead of us having to constantly update the textbook, I'm going to dump them into that LinkedIn folder, and you'll be able to chance to read them and be up to date on the latest things that are going on. Now, that folder is for all of my classes, so you'll also see the updates that I do for my other 2 classes, International Business and Entrepreneurship. Okay, so last week, or 2 weeks ago when I did the video, I was holding a book, but I noticed from the video I didn't show you what the book said. So now I'm going to show you. See, that's the book. That's those of us that grew 50 years ago, graduated from the Merchant Marine Academy. Why is this particularly relevant? Well, we're on the section about technology. Well, there's 2 things that changed the logistics industry and actually global trade in total. One was the containerization of ocean cargo. When I was trained, we'll show you some videos here and some pictures in the next couple of weeks from our reunion. You're going to see these ships that we were trained on. We used to have to load the cargo by pallets, so one at a time, right? And then when containerization came in, you were able to get ships in and out faster. It just changed the whole cost of global transportation, ocean transportation, which is 98% of all transportation, international transportation. That was one. The second thing was fiber optic cabling, which is cabling that's run below the oceans that connect the continents. It used to be that they would lay these huge, big, thick copper cables on a ship called the Long Lines, which is owned by AT&T. My classmates used to be on that Long Lines. Used to park in Hawaii every once in a while. We used to have a pretty good time. But when the technology came in, fiber optic cabling, which is not much bigger than the thickness of your hair, can handle as much data as that big fat cable. Well, then when they started putting fiber optic cabling down, the cost of telecommunications internationally dropped dramatically, which is what then led to the growth of the internet. Then free emails. In the old days when I started, you didn't have free emails. You had to pay for it. And you had fax machines. You had to pay for it. And so the transaction, the documentation transaction for international transaction was much more complicated, required a lot more labor, and it was slower. Now, because of technology, you now have blockchain coming into the arena, the technical arena right now. Things are moving much more quickly and much more seamlessly, concurrent with these big ships, these big containerized ships. And that's why we kind of talk about that. One side issue is that one of my classmates wrote this book. If you're interested, it's not a requirement. He wrote this book called The Bucko Mate, right? And it does a great job of describing what our experiences were in the Merchant Marine. It's some little adult content there for you, just in case. But it'll give you a flavor for what it was like before containerization, or right about the time containerization came out. It's a little on the romantic side, if you're a seaman like we are. Okay, so what else are we supposed to talk about, Chu? Let's see here. Did I read that? Oh yeah, how has technology changed the demand for physical labor? Well, the latest one is Amazon with their robots, right? And drones, right? And how about automated trucking? In other words, we have out here in the driveway, we have a Tesla Model 3 that shortly will drive itself. And so if you think about that technology now going to trucks, they kind of drive themselves. And if you eliminate the driver, that's one less job, a little more efficient. No, there's not every aspect that you're going to be able to automate, but there are many that you can. And by automating, you lower your labor cost and your performance levels go up. As long as the transaction that you're doing is repetitive. If it's not repetitive, that's when you need human beings. Okay, what else is on the sheet there? Let's see. What are the most sought after skills for, oh boy, this is a good one. So, Chu and I are in the process of interviewing interns again, which is always pretty painful for me, right? Because I am like stunned that these are all Cal State Long Beach students. Stunned is the word for how ill-prepared they are for the business community. The academic community, and I'm not criticizing the students, I'm holding the academic community, people like me, responsible for not getting this message across. They rarely come into an interview with me prepared. They rarely come in having done their homework, right? They rarely are able to answer the question, how is it that you can help my enterprise? They have trouble even answering the question, how can I help you with your education, right? Now, the academic environment is one that, generally speaking, just simply broadcasts information and then tests you on your ability to remember that information. The business community is a whole different issue, right? It's your ability to think, your ability to adapt, your ability to observe your environment and improve whatever process you're dealing with, and particularly in logistics, because there's so many moving parts. Later on in the class, I'll tell you about our business crafted cocktails and crafted brands and the logistics challenges that my daughter-in-law has in getting her product into Walmart and into the stores that she's trying to support. Okay? Hopefully you're finding this productive. Be sure to do that LinkedIn thing, and I promise you Chu will eventually teach me how to get the stuff directly into LinkedIn. What else do we need?
That's all for this
How many
week.
people do we have active
31.
out of?
37.
Perfect. Here's the objective. I'm glad you brought this up. The objective here is that everybody who's registered for this class completes the class. Right? That's the measurement. We need you to complete the class. That's what we're asking you to do, complete the class. If you need some help from us to help you complete the class, feel free to ask us. We'll do whatever we can do to help you complete this class. Capisce? That's Italian for understand. If you need anything, if there's anything in particular you want more information on, just let us know and we'll get on it right away. Is that it? We good? Okay. See you next week.